What up guys, Cody McBroom here. Today I'm going to give you 3 ways to use refeeds while dieting for fat loss. Real quick before we get into the video, if you are a returning viewer, thank you for being here once again. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if this gives you any value whatsoever. And now let's get into the meat and potatoes. I want to assume if you are watching this video, you know what a refeed is. So I'm gonna keep this pretty brief just in case anybody isn't 100% clear. But to define a refeed, it is pretty simple. A refeed day is when we simply bring calories up to maintenance, and that could be our calculated or our theoretical maintenance, what we believe our maintenance calorie intake to be, usually via carbohydrates, but I'm going to give you 3 different ways to approach that rather than just saying increase carbs. But the point of a refeed is pretty simple. Bring your calories up while you are in a diet for a single day or two, just to get some relief from the diet. Potentially physiological relief, and that could be physical from the gym, it could be hormonal, it could be any of the metabolic adaptations occurring, which is iffy of whether or not a single day does provide that value. But mainly this is gonna be a psychological relief. It is a day off the diet, and that is primarily what a refeed is for. So the first way to implement a refeed is really simple. You are going to bring your calories up to your hypothetical maintenance intake via carbohydrates. I say hypothetical because as we know, we may start at 2,500 calories beginning our diet, and we might diet down until we're at, let's say, 1,750 calories. Well, if you have lost 10, 20 pounds during that period of time, that 2,500 caloric intake is no longer your maintenance because you are a smaller human being. And when you are a smaller human being, you require less calories to maintain your new body mass. So we gotta assume that our maintenance intake is lowering. So it's probably not the best bet to go all the way up to your old maintenance, but rather go to your new hypothetical maintenance. And you're gonna do this via carbohydrates. So find your hypothetical maintenance intake and bring your calories up to that point through carbohydrates, because carbohydrates are going to refill glycogen and be less likely to get stored as fat when overfeeding in a temporary period of time. And that's it. You bring your calories up with carbohydrates, and that is your first way to implement a refeed. Strategy number 2 for implementing a refeed day: you will do the exact same thing with your calories. However, you are not going to do it with just carbohydrates. Rather, you are just gonna focus on tracking protein and calories. And this is a more flexible approach that still gives you boundaries. So maybe you use a refeed day for more of the psychological relief, and you use it on a weekend. And maybe some weekends you like to have more fats, and some weekends you like to have more carbs, or you completely base it on whatever social event you have going on during that refeed. And if that is the case, then all you're gonna do is make sure that your refeed calories are met and you're still hitting your protein. Carbs and fats can float up or down as long as you are hitting your protein and your calories for that refeed day. And the third and final strategy is an intuitive refeed day. I usually only recommend this if you are a more advanced individual in the dieting space. And what that really means is that you have a better control over your hunger signals and your ability to manage and maintain a healthy diet. We don't wanna just go free will and say it's intuitive and go into a binge. But if you feel like you have a good amount of self-control from years of doing this, then I think it's appropriate to have more of a free day and just eat. You may not hit your total refeed intake, you may be a little bit short, but the point is you have a huge psychological relief from not having to track or worry about your calories at all that day. And that is purely a stress relief based refeed day. And there are no calories or macros associated with it because it is an intuitive day of refeeding. And those are the 3 ways that you can use refeeds while dieting. Remember that refeeds are primarily here to help with your psychological relief during a diet, but they can be utilized to refuel muscle glycogen to help with performance and recovery as well. Because we all know that dieting after a while can get draining, can be fatiguing and tiring. So using these can allow you to adhere with your diet for a longer period of time and be more successful. They are not magic tricks, but they are very useful in your fitness journey. If you like the video, hit the like button, make sure you hit subscribe so you get notified every single time we drop a new video, and I will catch you next time.